ahead and close your eyes and sit up straight and tall. And just take a moment to enjoy what feels really good in your body. Depending on the movements you've been doing, the rest you've had, the sunshine you've had, the nature that you've had. Just let it all seep in and take stock. Notice how you are today. And we're going to have a little bit of a focus in the neck and shoulders. See what you can do to let a little bit of tension, as if there's just a little drawstring that you can let go a little bit, letting the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Try to elongate the neck without, pushing your spine upwards. See if there can be softness in your spaciousness. And let your head just bobble on the top of your vertebrae just for a minute. Just notice how heavy and light your head can be. So sometimes, if you lean way forward or lean way back, you can notice that your head's pretty heavy. But if you just kind of find that little spot to swivel on, right on the base of your vertebrae, try to get to the center point where your head becomes light as a feather. There's hardly anything to hold up. It's so centered. When you find a little bit of that, maybe not fully, but whatever you find in that, see what it feels like to rest the skull bones, relaxing the full head, relaxing the face, all the muscles around your eyes, the deep space inside your sinuses, the jaw. Let the jaw help the inner ears soften, creating a little space, a little gap. Relax your throat, soften the inner walls of your throat, the base of your skull. Drop that energy down to the shoulders again. See if you can feel the slide of the shoulder blades down the back. Ever so slight, just a teeniest bit of lift through your sternum, collarbones spreading wide. Letting the breath be deep and full. Take your body awareness lower now. Come into the lung fields. Ease the diaphragm as best as you can and find that sense of rhythmic movement in the bottom ribs as you breathe in and out. Can you feel the back body expand and the front body? See if you can bring your breath all the way down to the pelvic floor. Like the diaphragm is a bottomless entity, it just drops, drops, drops. And take stock. Notice, are you a little more relaxed? Let's place the palms together at your heart and offer an intention for your practice. And then release the hands. And let's come onto our back. All right, so go ahead and lie down. Have your props, hopefully you have some props. Have them nearby. And let's first just stretch our arms and legs out on the floor. Take your time stretching. Maybe you want to hold your breath or squeeze. Maybe you want to be much more gentle than that. Just find what you find. Enjoy the length through the body. Now bring your arms and legs a little closer toward the midline. Maybe even hook your fingers and stretch the right side of your body a little longer. Stretch the left side of your body. Just moving back and forth between your two sides. And then knees into the chest and give yourself a hug. Rock around a little bit. Feel your sacrum, feel your low back, your hips, your knees. Just have some ease as you rock side to side. Remember, this is restorative, so already feel the melting. Let your head drop into the earth. And then let's do some circles with your knees. Keep them together, circle them one way, a couple, 3 times. And then circle the other way, a couple, 3 times. And then right knee into the chest and the left leg stretches long on the floor. Wiggle out your toes, roll through your ankles, get the feet to wake up a little bit. Deep breath in, deep breath away. And then release that leg down onto the ground and change sides. Bring your left knee into the chest. Give that leg a good squeeze, hug in. And same, wiggle out the toes, roll through the ankles, roll through the feet as best as you can. Extending the spine. And then go ahead and bring your right knee back in. And we're going to pull the knees away from the midline and bring them back in. So just kind of going out and in whatever trajectory feels good in your hip joints. So maybe there's a little semicircle or circle, maybe there's a straight line. Just finding your way into some hip opening. And then put your feet down onto the ground. Bring your arms and stretch them out to the side. Feet are wider than your hips. And let's just drop our knees one side and lift them up and drop them the other. Just kind of going back and forth, waking up the sides of the body a little bit, enjoying the gentle twisting in the spine. Notice the breath. All right, and then let's add some arms. Start to get into the chest a little bit. So as your knees drop left, stretch your right arm out and long and wide on the floor, and then come back up. Drop knees right, stretch your left arm, and you can even roll over onto your side a little bit and really stretch the chest. So whatever feels good to your body. And then come back to center. Bring the knees in one more time. This time pick up your head round the spine. And then we're going to roll over onto our side and come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, so let's find our way. And as you come up onto all fours, take your time if you need to roll out your wrists or get anything comfortable. And we're going to just move through some cat-cows. So once again, remembering that, we're not going into anything vigorous. This is all restorative practices. So move slowly. Allow your head to drop, your tail to drop. Allow your head to lift, your tail to lift. Move through the spine with your breath. See if you can travel on the breath as you move. And then start to swivel out your hips or roll through your shoulders. Anything that feels really nice. Moving your head around, moving your neck around. And then as you're ready, find your way back into child's pose. So if your hips don't go all the way down, it's okay. Just find where you find. Feel free to adjust the position of your arms to have comfort in your shoulders. Find the side bodies. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath away. Let's walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. Open the right side up. Feel some weight come down into the hips. Relax the base of your skull. And then let's come back over to the other side, inching over to the right. Left arm extending. Feel that whole side body open. Take a deep breath into the side window of the body. Relax the base of the skull. And then come back up onto all fours. Let's find a twist. Inhale, lift your right arm up in the air. Exhale and slide that shoulder down, feeling the back body expand and open. Take a deep breath into the place where the ribs and the spine meet in the back. Feeling some spreading across the rhomboids, the muscles between the spine and the shoulder blade. And then inhale and reach that arm all the way up in the air. Place the hand down onto the ground and find your other side. Left arm up. Exhale and slide that arm down. Gaze toward the floor. Let the head relax. Press your hand into the ground. Femur bones are moving back. Deep breath here. Feel the inhale, feel the exhale. Enjoy being in your body. Something as simple as a gentle twist. What feels good here? And then inhale and reach that arm all the way up to the sky and place your hand down onto the ground. All right, we're going to find a dog pose. So spread out your hands and take, we won't do very many active poses, but it's good to do a dog pose just to feel the fullness of your body. So lengthen through the sides. Notice what works in this posture, what doesn't work. Do you need to adjust to bend your knees at all for your spine to get longer? Do you need to bend your elbows and kind of hug the elbows in? What does it feel like to root the index finger and thumb mounds into the floor and hug them toward each other? Relax the eyes, the jaw. Take a deep, full breath in, and even longer exhale. Remember, in restorative practices, the long exhale teaches the nervous system to surrender. So it's a deeply stimulating breath for the parasympathetic nervous system, the restful part of your nervous system. And then let's walk our feet forward and come into Uttanasana. Grab onto your elbows if you want to hang that way, or just place your hands somewhere on your legs or floor. Feel free to wag your tail, roll your shoulders around, move your head, anything that feels good. Inhale for a halfway lift. The knees are soft, the thigh bones are back. Stretch the spine. Exhale and melt back down. Let's repeat that. Inhale for a halfway lift. Sit bones lift. Exhale and melt back down. Let's rise up, push off your feet, lifting your arms to the sky, taking a breath, leaning back, opening the chest. And then exhale and release your hands down to your heart. And pause here for a moment. Discover the yielding of your body. Drop the weight of your body deep into the earth. Feel the rebound. Notice if your knees are locked or your spine or your hips. Soften all your joints and have a little bit of capacity, like you can move any which direction. Anything's possible because your joints are loose. Deep inhale and exhale. And let's just do a couple of shoulder rolls here. So some big circles. And don't feel like, don't overdo, so you can feel free to bend your elbows if that feels more comfortable than arms straight. So just find the range of motion that works for you. Okay, and then we're going to take our hands straight out to the side. So this is a great nerve stretch for, since we're working on the neck and shoulders a little bit, we'll do a couple different nerve stretches. So palms facing out toward the wall behind you. Turn the eyes of the elbows, like where you get blood drawn. Turn that up toward the sky. Press into the imaginary walls. Lift your right ear up. And then lift your left ear up. And just kind of go back and forth between the two sides. If your hands are going numb at all, lower down. You can also just not flex your hands so deeply. And just find the breath as you reach one side of the neck and then the other. And then relax the shoulders down. Do some shoulder shrugging. We're going to interlace the hands behind the back. Grab onto the right wrist with the left hand. Find the extension through the spine. Try not to pull the shoulders offline. And then we're going to reach the right ear up toward the sky. So think less about collapsing the left and more about extending through the right. And while you're here, you can drop your chin. You can drop your chin a little bit. You can move around. Just find the sweet spot of where those muscles, your scalene muscles on the side of your neck, want to stretch. Bring your breath right into the side of your neck. Okay, and then come on up. Shrug both your shoulders up. And then exhale and release it down. Change sides. Grab onto the left wrist. And now we're going to have the left ear lifting up to the sky. Feel free to move your head around in whatever way feels best to you. Breathing deeply. Try not to overdo the stretch. Be very gentle in your body. Okay, and then relax that. Shrug your shoulders, 2 of them up. And then relax them down. Now we're going to have our palms facing down. Our palms are facing in rather, and our fingers are pointing down. Open the chest, turn the eyes of the elbows up. And we're just going to go back and forth between waving the hands in and waving the hands out. Okay. And then feel free to circle if you want as well. Just doing some gliding for the nerves in your neck and shoulders and arms. And I'm going to get a little closer to the screen so you can see this. This is for the ulnar nerve. You're going to bring your index finger and thumbs to touch, okay? And then we're going to face our hands down. You can be sitting or standing to do this. Either way, I was just sitting so I could get closer to the screen. But you have your palms facing down. We're going to turn our palms out and then up, okay, and then back. The elbows are wide out to the side as you lift the palms toward the sky. Pull your pinkies down and then relax. A couple more times. Palms flipping up toward the sky. Pinkies down. Shoulders broad. Elbows back. Relax. One last time. Breathe. Open the chest. And then exhale. Shrug your shoulders. Big movement in the arms again. All right, and then just pause. Notice what's here. Okay, and we're going to come into a simple lunge with our knee down onto the ground. So we're going to open up the hips just a little bit before we come down onto the floor for some restorative postures. So have some blocks if you have them. And we're going to put our back knee on the floor, or on a pillow or whatever padding you have. And we're going to find a lunge, lift the heart, open up the hip flexor of the back leg. Enjoy the stretch here. Deep breaths. And we're going to go back and forth between half Hanumasana, so straighten the leg a little bit, tuck the chin, and then back into a lunge. And you don't have to go super far, you just go where your body goes. One more time, feeling that range of motion. Coming back into a lunge. Place your right hand on your knee. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky. Find your breath, and we're gonna just cross it over, put your elbow on your knee, and find a little twist here. Still opening the hip flexors of the back leg. Enjoy the spreading of your collarbones. And then go ahead and release your hands back down onto the blocks. Find the floor if you want. Let's move through some cat-cows or any kind of movement in the spine that feels nice. And we're going to bring the other leg forward. So come into a lunge. This time our left foot is forward, our right foot is back. And find the expanse through the hip flexors in the back leg. The blocks can go on any height you need them to be on so that you can expand and open up the spine. Hug to the midline a little bit with your inner thighs once you get there. Finding the breath. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Just enjoy the openness of the hips. And as you're ready, let's go back and forth a couple times, coming into half Hanumasana, chin tucks, coming back into a lunge, breathing as you go. And then as you're ready, let's stay in your lunge again. Hand on your knee, reach your right arm up in the air, extend through the spine. So hugging into the midline, stabilizing your legs. And then when you're ready, bring the elbow to the thigh and place the hand on your shoulder. Broaden across your collarbones. Keep extending through the hip flexors of that back leg. Hug into the midline. Press down through the big toe mound. Deep breath in and away. All right, and then come back out of that. Come back onto all fours. One more time, moving through some cat-cows, see what feels good. And then we're going to find our way onto our belly. A very gentle back bend here. We're going to bring our forearms in front of us. Turn your forearms out on a little bit of an angle. Extend the spine, extend the legs. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Oops. And then come down and rest on your belly. Turn your head to one side. Pick up your feet and rock a little bit left and right. And put your legs back down. We're going to scooch our right knee up toward our chest a little bit. Go ahead and stretch the hip. If your blocks are in the way, move them so that when we roll, you're not going to roll into anything. Okay, so first, just enjoy the hip opening, and then when you're ready, we're going to turn this into a giant chest stretch. So open yourself. I'm running into my couch, but if you have the capacity to have your arms straight, do that. Let the knee lift off the floor. Deep breath in and out. And then come rolling back. Stretch that leg back behind you and find the second side. So we're going to bring our left knee up there. Okay. Take the right arm out so you have a pillow for your arm. Take a deep breath in. Make sure you're not going to run into props. And open up the chest. Feel the stretch across the sternum, the pecs, the front of the shoulder. Deep breath in and away. And then go ahead and roll back around again. Come onto your belly and find your way back to child's pose. Let the head relax. See if you can soften the base of the skull. You can even bring your hands back to the base of your skull and give yourself a little massage in your neck. You can take the finger pads and press them up against the base of the skull. Whatever feels nice to your body. And relax that. And let's rock our head left and right. All right. So let's go ahead and come onto our back. Have a strap handy. Deepen your breath here. As you come down, just rest for a moment. Let the base of the skull surrender onto the floor. Deep breath in and away. So before we do, make sure you have some blocks close by, so grab them. Before we do some leg stretches, we're just going to do one more chest opening pose here. So come onto a block at any height you want, either the low height or the middle height. If you want to go super high in this pose, be on 2 blocks instead of a narrow lip of 1 block. So you get to decide how high in bridge pose you want to be. Rock a little bit onto the tops of the shoulders and feel the length of your neck. Try not to push the back of your neck into the floor. Have a little neutral spine. You can even take your hands under there like you were just doing, or you can hold on right below the base of the skull and have a little pressure there. Deep breath in, deep breath away. See if you can allow the diaphragm to move steadily. Put your arms wherever you want them to be. Notice if your shoulders are collapsed. See if you can keep the heads of the arm bones rolling under so that you have a sense of broadness across your chest. Not so much where you feel like you flatten your neck, but enough to keep the spine long. Enjoy your breathing here. The first of our more held poses. Enjoy the belly breath, both on the inhale and exhale. Okay. We're going to go ahead and lift the pelvis up. Come off of that block and come flat on the back for a moment. Re-neutralize the spine. Just let yourself rest. The feet are hip width apart. And one more time, like we did in the beginning, we're just going to windshield wiper our knees, lefty, righty. Just enjoying a little bit of rotation in the spine. Feel free to turn your head in the opposition of your knees, getting that full range of motion through the spine. All right, and then grab onto a strap or a bathrobe strap. And even if you don't have a strap of some kind, you can use your hands for this, so don't worry. We're going to bring our right knee into the chest and either interlace your hands behind your hamstring if you don't have a strap, or whatever you're using as a strap, wrap around your foot. With your left leg, you can either keep it bent like this, or you can straighten your left leg on the floor. So whatever feels best for your body. Find the spine first. Keep the elongation going. Move your right hip away from the shoulder. If you're using strap, lift up into the strap with your foot and reach down into the hip, into the floor. So find the opposition of those two directions. Allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to soften enough to expand. All right, hold on to the strap. Let's open up the leg out to the side. And once again, you can adjust what your left leg is doing. You can put your foot flat on the ground or butterfly the knee open. So you decide what feels good in the body. Deep breaths in and away. And then inhale and lift that leg straight up in the air. Take the strap into the other hand, putting it into the left. This time your left leg needs to be straight on the floor so you can cross the right leg over. Just feel that stretch in the outer hip. Move the hip away from the shoulder. Keep elongating the spine. Deep breath in and away. And then inhale and lift that leg straight up in the air. Take 2 feet in the strap. Have that sense of elongation in the spine again. Notice if there's a difference between your 2 legs. Try not to hyperextend your knees. Have a little bit of bend or a lot of bit of bend, whatever feels good. Extending through your heart, softening the shoulders down. And then when we're ready, take your left foot into the strap. The right foot is either on the floor or your right leg is stretched out long on the ground. Whatever feels good. Move the hip away from the shoulder. Stretch the spine. How's your breathing? So we're moving slowly here. Are you connected into the breath? Are you feeling grounded and easeful in the body? Can you move your foot into the strap or down? And if you're holding the back of your leg, you can still go in those directions, even if you don't have a strap to push against. All right, we're going to take the strap into the left hand. Open the left leg out to the left. Decide whether you want your right knee up with your foot on the floor or whether you want your right leg straight. Breathing deeply in and out. Long, long spine. Deep, deep breath. All right, and then let's go ahead and lift that leg straight up in the air. We're going to take the strap into the other hand. If you're holding your leg, you just hold with the right hand now. Cross the left leg over. Have the left femur bone move away from the shoulder. You can even stick the heel of your left hand into the hip joint to help press it away. Stretch through the big toe and the inner heel. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, lift that leg back up, bend your knee, 2 knees into the chest now, and rock through your spine. Just find some ease, sense of gentleness. We're going to do a restorative variation of reverse pigeon pose. So if you have you can do this one of 2 ways. I'm going to use my furniture here to put my foot against. If you have a wall or a chair or a couch, you can put your left foot on the wall or chair or couch and the right foot on top of your left knee. If you don't have furniture nearby, you can just do the traditional variation of grabbing on behind your thigh or the front of your shin. So you decide, what variation you want to do. Okay. Sometimes if you do have a wall handy, what's nice about this is your neck and shoulders get to relax on the floor. So you do you, figure out what's best. Deep breaths. Melt here. Enjoy the hip stretch. Wherever it's taking you, just enjoy the sensation. Deepening the breath in, deepening the breath out. And then let's go ahead and release and come out of that variation and move to the second side. Okay, so decide how you want to be, foot supported or not. If you are using support, the closer you get to the wall, the deeper the stretch, so you kind of have to monitor how far away your leg goes. Allow the knee to open, deepen your breath. Find a sense of opening up that hip. So if you want to move a little bit, if you want to press your knee away with your hand a little bit, whatever feels good in the body. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Extending the spine. Enjoy the sensation in your hip, whatever you're feeling. Find a long spine. Couple more breaths, just enjoying the extension or the rotation rather in your hip. And let's release and come out of the pose. 2 feet on the floor. Rest for just a moment. We're going to find our way into Supta Baddha Konasana. So this is where you need some props. All right, so however you like to be in this pose, however you prop yourself up. I tend to use a lot of props in this pose, but you can be flat on the floor too if you want. But I like to be angled. All right, so I take my blankets or my bolster like this over my blocks, and then 1 blanket underneath each knee, or if you only have 1 blanket, you can tuck it over your feet and underneath your hips. So however you want to be in this pose. If you have even more props and you want to prop your arms up, sometimes having your arms down low if your back is on support, sometimes having your arms up can be very helpful. So you decide what kind of support you need in your body. Maybe you need an extra little pillow or blanket under your head. So find what's comfortable. If you know your neck is a little tender and a little vulnerable, having a teeny bit of support underneath the head sometimes can be a nice angle. So just experiment, fidget around until you get all your props just how you want them to be, and then melt. We're going to be here for a few minutes, so just allow yourself to drop in, discovering the breath in, discovering the breath out. Melt the eyes, melt the jaw. Stay present with your breathing. Stay present with melting through the pelvis. The last couple of minutes in this pose, refresh your sensation of breathing. Melt the skull, melt the eyes. Check in and make sure tension didn't creep somewhere. Deep breath in and away. slowly start to find our way out of this posture. Okay, so be very slow. You've been here for a little bit, so find your way carefully. You can bend your knees. Take a breath. Maybe roll over onto your side. If you're up on a prop, be very careful coming onto your side. And use your arms to lift yourself up in the air. So we're going to do leg up the wall pose. And if you don't have a wall, maybe you have a chair or a couch. So you can do, I like to have a little blanket underneath me. You can be flat on the ground. And if you have a couch and you want to do, a modified version of leg up the wall with your legs just on the couch, you can do it this way. And then if you are against a wall, you can just have your legs up against the wall. So you get to decide. If you don't have any of the above available, if there's no couch or chair or wall accessible to you, and you have some blankets and things, you could make a stack with your blocks and bolsters, kind of, stack things up so that you have a high perch. And this is yet another way to create some height to put underneath your shins and your torso on the floor. So however you feel best. So find, kind of explore your house a little bit and discover what furniture and aids you need in order to have your legs above your heart. So whatever you're finding, enjoy it. So settle into your posture as you're ready. Either with your legs on a couch or a chair or lots of props or legs up against a wall. Maybe your head needs a little pillow underneath or a blanket. Maybe your pelvis needs a little pillow or a blanket. So try to get comfortable. Discover whatever props are best for you so that there is ease in your body. And whenever, we spend a lot of time on our feet, especially if you're doing walking or hiking in the summertime. This is a great pose after a hike to help nourish your legs, kind of get things flowing back toward the heart, get some swelling out of your legs. If you tend to have restless legs, this also can be very helpful. So however you're choosing to be, drop in, come into the breath. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Melt the shoulders, melt the spine, melt the face, melt the base of the skull. Come into your breathing. As we're ready, if you're really comfortable, you don't have to move yet. But for some people, having your legs up, some people's feet get cold or a little tingly. So if it's an uncomfortable feeling to stay for a while in this pose, go ahead and come on now. And if you're wanting to stay for a little bit longer, that's great too. Let the end of your pose be very conscious. So some deep breaths, some deep melting. And then as you come out of the pose, we're just going to do a simple twist before Shavasana. So come onto your back, move your props away. We're going to bring our knees into our chest and rock a little bit. And put your feet down, lift your hips up, scooch them to the right, and bring your knees up and drop them to the left. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale away. Turning the head one more time, relaxing the neck. And then inhale and lift the knees. Scooch the hips over to the other side, knees come up and drop. Deep breath, turn the head, open the chest, breathe. And then as you're ready, inhale and lift your hips up again. Go ahead and come to a flat back. Okay. So Shavasana, any way you want. If you want to have your legs back up, if you like that, you can put them back up. If you want to be flat on the ground with your arms and legs spread wide. If you need support underneath your knees. So you take whatever props are working best for you. And if you have something to cover your eyes with, that's nice too. If you have a scarf or a sleeve or a bit of a blanket. And if you don't, that's not a problem. But go ahead and lie down on your back and come into Shavasana. This is the master of all poses for the nervous system, this gateway into deep rest and surrender. So adjust and get comfortable. Mess around until your body is really at ease. And find your breath. Melt the exhales longer again. Belly breathing, soft, soft spine. Let the shoulders relax and melt. The eyes, the jaw, the tongue, all melting and soft. Feel that same sensation through the base of the skull, the inner walls of the throat, all around your neck melting. Let the shoulders drop and the collarbones rest. Staying present with the full deep breaths. Slowly begin to deepen your breathing. As you're ready, you can begin to move the body in any way that feels good. Let's find our way coming onto our side as you're ready. There's no rush. And use your arms. Help yourself upright. Find a good posture. Just pause for a moment in the breath. Notice if your practice has given you any ease or softness, sense of grace or steadiness. Bring your palms to your heart and bow in. Offer your intentions, share your energy. Namaste. Thank you.